Hi and welcome to this video on Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. This game is fucking phenomenal. I just beat the campaign, relatively speaking. Like, one of the last things I did playing this game was beat the campaign and did 2 runs of the end mode. But this episode, or this video, I am actually going to be talking about what makes this game, in my opinion, Borderlands perfected. Even though it's technically not a Borderlands game, which I like that little bit, because if it was a Borderlands game, all the things I'm about to talk about would completely throw off what it means to be a Borderlands game. But because it's in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, they can test out so much shit that, holy fuck, this is Borderlands playstyle. The base game basically is Borderlands 3, and then everything else that I'm going to talk about is tacked onto that, and it's fucking beautiful. First, this game does not have you pick your class, or you pick your character, which is your entire class. This game completely throws that out the window. You start off by picking your first class. I picked Berserker because I wanted to go melee only, and which is why my character is called. I want to actually see if I can show you my name easily. Apparently, I can't. My character is called Blitzkrieg, like Blizzard and Krieg from Borderlands 2, plus the German thing Blitzkrieg, because my entire build is basically Blitzkrieg. It's get in there, fuck them up as fast as possible, go to the next person, next person, next person, Blitzkrieg, but one-man army. Um, as I was saying, the reason why I picked Berserker is because of that. Like, just the name alone, and something awesome. The names do give off exactly what the classes are. Berserker, Frost, Berserker. Graveborn, giving you bonuses on health regen, or health regen to help out with a lot of different things, and just overall, actually, it is a lot of health regen because dark magic. When doing damage to a character or an enemy affected by dark magic, you siphon health off. I don't know exactly how that works because I haven't messed with it. I only wanted it for that and that. That's the only reason why I wanted the subclass, or class technically. With this entire setup for the skills, because I believe there is 7 to 9 subclasses. I think there's 7 subclasses. 7 if you buy a DLC, 6 if you don't. Each one of those subclasses do something completely unique, like you're seeing here. Each one has completely different mechanics, like, for example, Demi-Lynch with Graveborn. That is your bread and butter, so to an extent. Like, I have been using him a fuck ton in my overall build because he helps out a fuck ton. And you can build around companions overall with your inventory, with what you equip. Because you have rings, like, for example, my ring is all about melee damage because that's what I'm doing. My other one is the exact same thing, but with different stats, because melee damage. And, okay, the reason why I have both of these instead of a different melee ring that I could have put on is because of that bonus right below Jossa. That is a base 15% bonus damage on rotating elements, which the elements alone help out a fuck ton. With that said, each element does something completely different. And like I talked about with dark magic, it gives you health. Cryo in this game actually helps against Skeleboys, which are going to fight a whole lot. Which Cryo in previous Borderlands 3 didn't do anything bonuses, didn't give any bonuses except for slowing the enemy down, where this can actually kill things faster, like all the other elements. Except for dark magic. Dark magic I don't think actually affects anything more besides giving you health regen. But each one of these weapons is amazing. And, okay, how to put this? First, in every other Borderlands, there's only these 4 weapons. You don't get to actually choose your melee weapon. Because you can choose your melee weapon, you can have a completely new way to affect your build. Like the things down below, Wailing Banshee and Rampage. Wailing Banshee, on this weapon specifically, the Wailing Banshee is specific for this weapon in particular. But Rampage, you can have on all sorts of other weapons. There is Rampage, Corrosive, Vampire, Echo, Archmage, Ancient, each one of those giving different bonuses and different things like that. Like, for example, if you want to have a high gunplay focused build where you do a fuck ton of damage with your guns and that's about it, you can have Echo, which gives you 10% of the damage you dealt. I think it changes depending on the weapon because the effect does get better and better and better depending on the level and the specific role of the weapon. But I do believe at the tier I'm at, the previous Echo I've seen was like 5 seconds. 10% of the amount of damage you did within 5 seconds is now applied to that melee. And say, for example, you have a rocket launcher that does 4,455 damage or more. You shoot 5 shots in 5 seconds and then bonk a bitch. You just did so much damage on top of your already existing melee damage. And little things like that just make this game fucking beautiful. Like if you want to have a ability focused build, like either your class ability or your spell, you can completely do that. That's what Archmage and Ancient does. I forget which one does which, but getting a melee damage or hitting an enemy with your melee gives you back a little bit of your charge for either or. And it's just fucking beautiful how so many things just mix and match in this game. Um uh Speaking of overall like melee damage and general build, with the skills, this is not the end of where you can actually customize and upgrade. First, the max level is 40 for this. You can only put, I think it's like 50 stat points because sometimes you get two, so I'm going to say it's 50, even though I think it's like 45 exactly around there. But you get to have a lot of stat points for this and a lot of stat points for these. But what makes this game even better than any other Borderlands, in my opinion, is the badass ranks are completely different. This is basically badass ranks. If you ever played any Borderlands game, this is badass ranks. But instead of badass ranks, you get to pick out of one of these four. First, it will go clockwise. Only go clockwise. You can pick to begin with which thing you start with. So, like I pick Blade Master, and then I go Deadeye, Druid, Archmage, and then go back to Blade Master, so on and so forth. But that's also a good thing and bad thing I'm getting into. But with this entire system, you can upgrade your shit incredibly. Like, for example, Archmage alone. Intellect, I forget exactly what it does, so I'm going to go to Intellect. Intellect gives you 20, or not 20, gives you a escalating percentile cooldown rate on your spell cooldown. And you can just infinitely put points into that. And I do mean infinitely because mythic ranks, like badass ranks, do not have a maximum. So, with that said, there is bonuses like melee damage that because it does not have a 5 out of 20 or a 2 out of 20, like you'll see at the symbol itself. I hope you can see that. Depending on what you're watching, you most definitely can't. But the melee damage bonus, and there's each class, each one of these has a different big bonus. Like this has gun damage, this has ability damage, and also companion damage, which is very handy, and different things like that. Like each one of these gives so much to your overall build depending on what you're wanting to do. Like it completely lets you. This game is a god simulator, or not a god simulator, a god maker. Because you can make literally any build you want. You want to have a massive summoning horde, a massive horde of summons? You can. There was a weapon I had. I might still actually have it in my inventory or my vault. And okay. Part of the reason why I have so many golds is because of the in-game mode that gives you a fuck ton of golds if you play it right. And it's in-game and lore, it's tower. Okay. The story is crazy and some things literally just don't add up, but it's meant to be more fun than anything else, so I don't really mind that. The Chaos Tower, which is the in-game mode that you get after completing the final mission, you get to go through this, which is like a horde shooter more than Borderlands typically is, going from arena to arena to arena, constantly doing different things to get crystals to think COD Zombies mixed with a massively actually Outbreak. Think of it as small map Outbreak, like very small Outbreak if you ever play Cold War, with a lot of objectives that you have to complete to get bonus points. Points you can only use in the Chaos Tower run, or that specific Chaos Tower run. I'm actually going to do a Chaos Tower run after I continue talking about what I want to, or finish talking about what I want to. Do I? There we go. That's one of them. I don't know why I actually have that in my inventory, or in my vault, but the thrown weapon transforms into a pike champion and shoots enemies before exploding. That alone gives you a champion, so you can actually toss it and then have a champion that you can build into with this, or specifically this, and go from there. And you can have one of those type of weapons as every single weapon. And say if you just want the champions, or companions, I keep on saying champions, but companions, you could have, say, 1, 2, and 3 as different companions on reload, because TDR is cool like that. And then have your 4th as a actual good primary, so all you have to do is, oh, my boys are gone, swap to your next weapon, shoot 1 bullet, reload, swap to your next weapon, shoot 1 bullet, reload, go to the next weapon, shoot 1 bullet, reload, and then get to your primary again. Like, you can do shit like that in this game, and it's fucking beautiful how this game just synergizes. Not a lot of games do this, and it's fucking beautiful. Another beautiful thing about this game that is not another Borderlands game that makes this even better is, like, for example, okay, going to this, or this specifically, that's a better example. Spells are instead of your grenade. If you had ammo for your grenade, or your spell, because, okay, spells only have a cooldown. They do not actually have a ammo count, or ammo type that they have. It's only on a specific cooldown that you can change depending on different things like that. But if it was, say, instead of spell, grenade, like every other Borderlands, you could not have that as a oh shit button, like I do. Because of how fast my grenade cools down, because of how fast the cooldown is, and I believe this weapon or this spell is 9 seconds without any tomfoolery. Yeah, 9 seconds. It's in the main chunk of it, damage, critical chance, cooldown, just to help you out find it. That, because of that, I have boom of high damage, which is cryo, which will help me out on my entire build, and now I have another one to have even more health. And then rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, constantly having that extra health when needed, because my entire build is get in the shit, constantly beat some ass. Just little things like that, like how, I don't know how much of this is actually fully thought through, and how much of this is just random bullshit go, because both ways can come to the same conclusion, but either way, this is fucking beautiful. Like, absolutely beautiful how this shit works. Like, I don't know how many other classes have an ability like this. First, that is my personal favorite, because I can just do a fuck ton more damage with that over that, especially with that enchantment, which is right below the main chunk, the orange and gold not numbers, the orange and gold letters, and then that combo together with that to make it do a fuck ton more damage. And that, the only problem with enchantments is that you have to have the weapon equipped to have it. Like, for example, I can't have that enchantment while I have that weapon equipped, or that weapon in my hands. And vice versa, I can't have that enchantment while I have that weapon equipped, which is the only downside. But because my melee weapon is always equipped when I swing it, and that I can't actually put in my hands, the same with that, those are constant passives that are ready to go no matter what. And because they're both frost damage, and my entire shtick is frost damage, I can shred bosses. But as I was talking about this specific ability, that specific ability, if you just want to be able to, best way to put it, get places you're not supposed to be at then and there, you can use that, because it is a very, not very long leap, but in actuality, it's a pretty long leap that you can use to get across big distances, to get things that you should have gone around your elbow to get your ass sometimes. That is just an amazing tool to get places. And I have and will keep switching to that if I need to, because it's just very handy. Now, another amazing thing about this game Skull, you okay? Uh, First, I okay. I like reacting to Skull because Skull or that companion makes a lot of random noises and is just Skeletor if he was a frenemy kind of thing. Uh, He's funny. Um, but something amazing about this entire game is the overworld. And I know I'm saying like every little thing is amazing about this game, but every little thing is amazing about this game. So, yeah. This game has an overworld, which allows you to go to anywhere you want to and has a map of its own to do all sorts of things. A couple things about the overworld is there is passives you can get by getting shrine pieces. Shrine pieces are in different dungeons that you can collect to get bonuses, such as shrine buffs up on the top right. Each one of those, and I have gotten all the different shrines, are all it goes from first area, then I think it's the first two are in the first area, the next two are in the second area, and then the next two are in the third area. That's how it goes. Um, each one of those gives you a different buff that is just very good. You want to think the overworld movement speed is very good, but that alone lets you travel across this big ass map pretty fucking fast. And completing the shrines gives you XP, which is just a bonus. The thing that makes the overworld my personal favorite thing about not my personal favorite thing about this game, but what makes this game even better than Borderlands is the fact that in Tallgrass you can get an enemy to fight you that gives you this, like a Pokemon battle, which gives you free loot basically, like guaranteed chests after you complete this, which you can just sell for money and different things like that, so you never actually have to worry about farming technically. This is like the best type of farming. Instead of having to go to the same boss over and over and over again, you can just do this to get money. And this general, this this basic mode is what you're going to be playing as the end game, but with a lot of shit tacked onto it. You will see what I mean by a lot of shit tacked onto it. Every single dungeon basically is this, but with possibly a bonus objective. And every single time you get a enemy in the grass, this is the typical encounter. The area is different depending on where you actually start the encounter, like because this is the main or the beginning area that's like Bright Hoof, and then you see all this as like the area you're at. But if you're deeper into the campaign or deeper into the overworld, the area does match what you're actually playing, or the area does match where you actually are when you start the objective. And like I said, loot, which will actually be pretty expensive. So you can sell it for a decent amount of money instead of like 100. Or not 100. You will never ever get 100 thing unless you're very, very low level. The lowest I've actually found recently is 2,000, almost even, like 2010, I think is the lowest value I found recently. Um, and I am going to walk all the way to the other end of the overworld because of how long this overworld is and how much exploration. Every area, every main area, like that place there, or better way to put it, every named location has a fuck ton of exploration as well. With different dice you can find that gives you bonus loot and bonus luck chance and all sorts of shit. Like, this game has so much exploration, so much everything, it's just fucking fun. Which is why I don't really mind the fact that there's so many continuity errors, even in the campaign alone. And it's not meant to, I don't think it's meant to be in the Borderlands series specifically, but it's not, it doesn't really matter if it does. And overall, over the entire course of the game, you constantly get upgrades to go into different areas, so the overworld exploration has more shit to find. And so on and so forth, like typical like Banjo-Kazooie type games. Or that's an old explanation. I don't know a better explanation than Banjo-Kazooie type games, but it's basically a Banjo-Kazooie type game where it's explore, complete missions to get better shit, or not better shit, to unlock tools, to go back in previous levels to get that stuff that you didn't get, but could see or possibly didn't see, and that type of stuff. Um, Now that I have said all the different things that make this game fucking beautiful, and that was in 20 minutes, which is amazing. 20-ish minutes, I am going to do a run of the Chaos Chamber. And because this has been about 20 minutes, I might actually... Okay. There is a lot of runs of the Chaos Chamber you can pick from. I'm just going to speed through it, or, I'm just going to let you read it. Not going to speed through it. If you want to pause it because you need to, you can. But each one of these gives different amounts of crystals with different amount of challenge and different things like that. What I'm going to do is normal run, because normal run is pretty fast and different things like that. Extended run, it does not say, it says longer randomized run. Yeah, that's correct. But it's way fucking longer. Like, to the point where I actually lost so much money because I ran out of inventory space. Like, in the second encounter. And, okay, first. Or, I can just launch the mission so I can actually explain it while we're doing it. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's where we're going. Ah. That's why it's completely random, because it's in a die, a object of complete randomness. Ah. And, okay, this is the second to last area of the game. Up there is the final area of the game. Hello, motherfucker. Okay, gotta finish everything before the time runs out. Give me your shit. Come here, motherfucker. This will take a long time to go from area to area, because there's a lot of collectibles, so to speak, throughout this entire section. Getting the collectibles actually gives you basically more points to get more upgrades if you want them, or what I'm going to do, use them at the very end that you've collected to get specific loot, which is going to commonly be gold, if you have enough, and that rainbow is the points you're getting. The points, where you can see the points, is top right in the encounter, or to complete the encounter area. The white symbol with the 5 is how many lives I have. I want to spin to win. Alright. Also, if you ever do plan on playing this game, I highly suggest using one button as a switch to your number 1 weapon. I don't care what button it is, I use the up on D-pad. Where the fuck? I need to kill 2 more. Motherfucker. Hell yeah. Come here, bitch. I typically use up on D-pad to switch to my primary weapon. And that allows me to go from, say, this weapon instantly to my high melee damage weapon, because that's what I'm going to be using primarily. So I can go from any weapon instantly to it. If you have enough buttons, like you're playing on PC, I highly suggest having a button for every single weapon, just to have that ease of use. It just make it easier. Now that I completed the encounter, I should go exploring for the little shits. There is multiple types of bonus loot. That I found, there's 3. There is a dial that is just randomly on a side of a wall, which is what I'm looking for right now. Those are basically perks that you can buy indefinitely. Kind of like, because I'm doing with the Call of Duty example, Vanguard, where it's constantly giving you increasing bonuses, but at an increasing price. That one is gun damage. But instead of like in, hey, there's the skull, and there's the dial. Instead of in Vanguard, where one perk gets more and more expensive, all the perks get more and more expensive if you buy one. And I'm not going to buy one unless I accidentally buy one. Or need to. Because you never really know. Something awesome about this game, and typical games in general, and I've talked about this in previous videos, is you can do typical, like, rules of 3 gamer logic kind of thing. Since there was that dial over there, there's most likely a dial over here. That kind of thing. The only problem with finding the dials, at least for me, is I have T-Rex-itis. And okay. That is not scientific at all. Even the itis is not technically correct for what I'm trying to explain. I see movement better than I see things standing still. It is a pain in the ass for me, but it has been a pain in the ass for my entire life. So I call it jokingly T-Rexitis, because T-Rexes are believed to only be able to see movement, which they're a predator, which it would work because they're a predator, but I don't believe it can only see movement. That does not really make a whole lot of sense, but dinos are very janky, so to speak, when it comes to their evolution. Kind of like a platypus. Hey, here's a skull. I didn't even see the dial. Also, the skulls make noise, so you can actually find them pretty easily, which is why I actually heard it. And there's typically two, so I don't actually have to look for another one. This is where the game gets even interesting, interesting isn't a word, but more interesting. These can do all sorts of things. I have not actually messed with either of these. Okay, so it's more of a challenge and more bonus. Well, that's a bullshit thing. Okay, how much... Oh, at least I get a plus 60 to bonus crystals. That, and a 25 to crystal drop rate on enemy death. I will take that. Okay, these both mean different things. There's a lot of mechanics to this one thing, but I'll try my best to explain. This gives you a passive bonus that is random, but that is from the queen of the story, and not my favorite character, but an amazing character in Borderlands 2, but Stallion. But Stallion is the queen in the Wonderlands, because why not? That will give you a bonus or a passive buff. That will give you another debuff, but the debuff, like I just showed you, will give you bonuses because of how hard it will make it. So I'm actually going to do that and make it an elite, so I have even more bonuses. And something cool about this game, enemies like that are actually, this thing is basically a Goliath. Even if you shoot him in the head, when you actually shoot him in the eye, when you shoot him enough in the eye, it will pop, and then he'll get enraged like a Goliath in Borderlands. And those little things, it's just fucking amazing. Oh yeah, die, 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 die. Oh, fuck, I'm not looking at my health. Ha! Heal me, I'm spamming the button! Okay, a downside to my build. Going from spinny roundy to trying to toss my spell takes a good second. Boom. Also, if you didn't notice that, my melee does more damage than I think at this point every single other weapon in my arsenal, including my rocket launcher. Because of how much I've been building into it. Like I said, this game is a god maker. More so than most other games. The only other game that comes close, or is a good example of how much of a god maker this game is Skyrim. And Skyrim, there's no game... Okay. Skyrim and the Skyrim type games like Fallout, Skyrim, Oblivion, different things like that do have the same general god maker, but Borderlands doesn't have this level of god maker in previous installments. And the reason why I say that, is because in previous games, the badass rank gave you random buffs, and because you can actually pick what you want out of any of these buffs, sure you have that con of having to go clockwise, but that is actually a bonus, because if you could only focus on one skill tree, for example, I would just focus on Blade Master. I would not have the bonus gun damage or the bonus movement speed. It forces you to think about the different classes in which you actually want in them, because you're gonna have to spend points on them regardless. Like that, little things like that makes this game fucking beautiful. And okay, I don't think I need this, I just want it. Hello. Okay, first, or not first, this guy, the Dragon Lord, is the BBEG of the entire game because in the story and I do not care about spoilers because it's all in-game conversation, so spoilers in the campaign are kind of already over and done with, basically. um, Dragon Lord is the BBEG throughout the entire game. That actually, in my opinion, with keeping in mind that there's a lot of continuity errors just in the game alone, not even trying to piece it into an actual thought into the entire Borderlands story, but in the game alone, there's a lot of continuity errors. He actually has a very reasonable. Actually, I just realized something. It's D&D. There's always continuity errors in D&D. That actually makes a lot of sense why there's continuity errors. um, or actually, yeah, there's continuity is even in the thing because they talk about how the core would have one god and then show different gods and there's things like that. But going back to Dragon Lord actually has near the end you hear why he's doing what he's doing more in depth. He actually is very he is not understanding, his motives are understanding. He is the player character Tina made to begin with. Tina fucked up and made him evil, and to be honest, technically her action should not have made the Dragon Lord evil. What she wanted to do, because she had a blade that could do anything, she decided to kill all the bad guys. But because that's killing 1,000 enemies or 1,000 or billions of people, it technically made the Dragon Lord evil. When, in my opinion, the spell was the bad people. And if magic exists, most likely it is by your heart's desire to an extent, it was the bad people. It shouldn't have made the Dragon Lord evil. It really shouldn't have. And with that, it made the Dragon Lord evil in the story. He did not want that. And throughout the entire campaign, he somehow, it did not explain it. I feel kind of sad it never explained, never even touched on, never even acknowledged it. But the entire campaign, the Dragon Lord's talking to you, the person in the D&D setting, because keep in mind, technically, this is just a tabletop game in the Borderlands world, so there's 3 people playing, or 4 players, technically, because you're included. There's the 3 that talks, and then you at the table. But in the table world, the Dragon Lord constantly talks to the player character and basically says, I know how Tina thinks. I know what she's going to do next, and fucks with her during it. Has actually made it where different encounters play differently for Tina, and Tina even reacted like, that shouldn't have happened, when actually trying to think about that, because the tabletop, she has to place the enemies, you have to roll the dice, different things like that, it doesn't technically add up. But, to add up, there would have to be more explanation. Like, I was personally hoping that they were going to make this an entirely different spin-off of the Borderlands series. I know this isn't Skull actually responding to me, but I know I'm talking a lot. How dare you? The Dragon Lord. The Dragon Lord. What was I gonna say? Tiny Tina actually being like a siren of creativity or something like that. I wish it went down the route of that, making its own spin-off, making its own world, and having more interactions or more things into this. Because this idea could have gone so much more insane and so much more brilliant. Like, for an example, the ending cutscene, because of what happens and how much energy and different things like that, the table, because you see a little snippet of, or you see your character, first person, shoot a beam in the sky. And then it shows a second later your actual character's view in the Borderlands world, not in the tabletop. Did it unpause? Cool, unpaused. I accidentally pressed power on my controller when I was trying to mute because I had to burp. But, as I was saying, the paused as in the recording paused, because you can't record while while in the home screen. But, what was I saying? I had a point. Tiny Tina being a siren of creativity and different things like that. Yeah, the big beam in the sky actually came off the table itself and blinded the players at the table. They did not acknowledge that. They did not explain that. There is no talking about that, which is my personal biggest gripe about the campaign. They could have done nothing. Like, it was all in Tina's head. It was all make believe. Tina was going even more insane because she's super lonely. They could have done that, but instead they actually showed that there's actually some correlation to soul magic and that then the entire world actually being real to some extent. Because the other characters at the table actually looked away from the big beam, which it just hurts my nerd. Best way to put it. Ooh, I actually like Bulwark Buddies. Okay,
Let's see how you handle it.
that is actually a passive bonus in disguise because the Bulwark Buddies have very little health. So if you keep the Bulwark Buddies alive, keep those guys invincible and just ignore them, if slash when you go down, you can easily, relatively speaking, if you have a good ranged weapon, pick them up from afar and instantly get back up because they have, like, with this gun, 3-ish bullets worth of damage. And that's without its bonus, which is why I have that gun specifically. Every third shot takes no ammo and does 100% bonus damage, which is just fucking absurd. Without that bonus damage, I think it would still be a 3-shot. But yeah, that is bonus. That is just extra loot. I'm gonna make that, and get extra loot because I'm actually going through this for money and to show off how this game plays and just how fucking beautiful it is. I really hope this gets you to play this game because holy shit. I like this guy. Okay, how this works is you have to kill things, they drop a fireball, and you feed it to the guy. The time below the secondary objective is actually his hunger bar, so to speak. It tells you when you have to feed him, or tells you when he will go away if you don't feed him. So the goal is basically just keep that as high as possible. But you have to have a chance to not get the moat. And something funny, I play a fuck ton of Destiny, and I have not seen a single other game talk about or say moats in general except for Destiny. And moats in Destiny is basically what you pick up most of the time. In basically every single game mode, or not every single game mode, every single type of game mode has at least a moat. A moat something or another. And I mean game mode as in, like, PvP has a moat game mode, there is a PvE, PvP, PvE game mode that is completely designed around moats, which gives you bonuses here. Not bonuses. Race to the finish game mode where you have to make the more moats. And there's even PvE modes or dungeons and raids that rely on moats as well. So it's a very moat-heavy game. But to be honest, I don't really find that as a bad thing. Some people do, but it's not really a bad thing to me. Like, for example, if you've heard that Destiny has a reskin problem, it actually doesn't. Technically, if you want to go by the complete, it is the same model, but different. Yes, it has a reskin problem, but the reskins are completely different. Most of the, like, not almost the time, every single time there's been a reskin, it comes, or remodel, it has come with a different element, which the element gives it its perks, gives it its entire build, gives it everything about it is its element, just about, because that's why you would pick the gun over other guns, unless you're playing PvP and then you're just wanting raw power of the gun, then element, but for builds, you're going to want element. But with that said, the different elements, or the different weapons, also have not just the different elements, also have different roles they can roll with, which completely change the entire gun. Some of the different reskins have different stats too, which change the gun in general completely and utterly, because the only thing that changes weapons from the same family, like rapid fire, aggressive burst, or aggressive frame, lightweight, different things like that, is the stats themselves and the scope. The scope does change a good bit, but it's mostly the stats. So, in a sense, yes, Destiny has a reskin problem, but in actuality, it really doesn't. Oh, yeah, I only got one of those dials. I should look for a second dial. Oh yeah, I was talking about previously, or I did start to talk about the different types of bonus crystals. There is dial, there is quartz, which is a crystal that if you destroy it, you get a boss fight. You kill the boss, he spawns a fuck ton of crystals. And then there is a mushroom, which is actually pretty cool. You have to find a symbol on the ground. You press square or press your interact key on the symbol on the ground, and then you have to find a mushroom. It shows you where the mushroom is, like how there was a streak from that to there. But once you get the mushroom, you jump on the mushroom to activate it. There's a dun 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 and a little pulse from the mushroom telling you get ready, and then it shoots blobs from the mushroom. Like I think it's 4 escalating rounds of target practice, basically. One of those gunks glow, and you have to shoot each gunk in order that they glow. And it goes from 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to I don't know how many. I think it goes up to 8. It felt like, and it was basically playing Red Dead Redemption with that what's it called, Deadeye mechanic in real time. It felt awesome. And I don't even know what I got from it, to be completely honest. Nothing spurted out, so I don't know what I got from it. Hell yeah, this might be the end of this run. Because if I remember correctly, at least on the tutorial run, this was the end. This signified the end. But on the extended run, there was, I believe, 3 of these pillars. And these pillars actually signify that there is going to be a boss fight. Or a specific type of boss fight. A unique enemy. Those unique enemies are scattered throughout the different areas of the map that give you, or different locations of the map that I've talked about, like the different name locations that give you bonus loot, and some of them I think give you unique items once you kill them.
I see dead.
And in the city of Brighthoof, in the tavern, you can actually find all the different heads or bodies of the different enemies you killed throughout all the different. I forget what those are called. What the fuck are you? Why? Oh, you evolved. Ah. Fuck, 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 fuck. Heal, heal, heal. I am goofing around a lot more than I should. Especially because I put this on Elite.
Well done, my lovely.
That's where they're coming from, your ass sack. You piece of shit. The little fuckers that he spawns are basically screebs. Or just typical explosive enemies you would find in games. Can I? Die, die, die. Yeah. Where's the boss? He is over there.
Just what I need.
Yeet, motherfucker. I have not actually tried this gun out yet. Okay. Holy fuck! Okay, get affected again. Oh! Shit, I killed myself. A thump. I missed. A thump. I missed.
You can tell him I'm
Okay, that rocket's actually very good. Comparatively, oh... The reason why I'm testing this out is because for a good bit of the... Hell yeah. For a good bit of my game, or for most of my game until I got this rocket, my AR has been my primary mode of boss damage because it has been doing the most damage out of every single weapon I got. I killed myself again. Fuck. No, 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 no. Die, die. There we go. That was a good example of what I was talking about with the Bulwark buddies. How fucking dare you move? Where'd you go? You're over that way. Okay. Backing up. I'm not dying again. I got myself twice already. Wait. His bones. Hell yeah. Come here, motherfucker. Ow. And he's a frost, so I can't actually do the Ow. Stop moving so I can kill you. Fuck, fuck, die, die, yeah!
Send a corpse to do a killer's job.
Okay, so the entire thing that makes me do bonus damage against bones, I cannot do. Fuck, he spawned on me. Ha, you piece of shit! Okay. Don't move. Don't move. Stop coming closer to me, you piece of shit. Oh!
You're creepy. I like you, but you're creepy.
You're creepy, but I like you, is to, Skull. Or, I named him Skull, but to that character. Okay. So this isn't really good against Bone, or he has just a metric fuck ton of health, who knows? You piece of shit, you spawn on me again.
That's the good stuff.
Fuck. Fuck. Ah, the reason why this is so difficult is because my entire build is based around cryo, and I can't actually do damage, or at least maximum damage, or a good bit of damage with my cryo, so I'm just fucked. Not fucked, it's just a little bit difficult. But at least it's actually a challenge. Because if he didn't have that frost resistance, I could have just swept the floor with him. To be completely honest, even though he's elite.
Well, I'll make a nice payday out of you.
Oh, come here! Yeah! This was not the end. Okay. It will be the end if there is a gold portal and a red portal, because there is these typical portals. It is not the end. All right, so my inventory is full. Nothing burns like the cold. Oh shit, that's pretty sweet. What's it do? Oh, it's basically just a blizzard in SMG format. Alright. Alright. Put him back on that. Something kind of funny. If you can't tell by the level of my main weapon, I haven't took that off since I got it because of the melee damage bonus. I don't even use it as a gun. This is where the gameplay gets very slow and boring, so to speak. I personally like this because I actually like inventory management to an extent. This is just worrying about numbers, mostly. I'm going to prioritize the things that are very expensive, so I don't have to worry about inventory space later. Hell yeah, I'm guessing multi-headed Hydra means that it's just basically a shotgun. Because this is a boss arena, I don't think that there's any secrets around. So I am just going to continue after doing all of this inventory management. Do I got another? Ooh, I got another 2. I was going to ask if I had another 3. Hell yeah. And 2 as in 2,000, 3 as in 3,000, because what I'm focusing on is the 1,000 number instead of the 100 numbers, or the 100 and lower numbers. Because that is, I'm focusing on money primarily, nothing else really, because I have my weapons. Until I actually get to the very end and try and get even better weapon. I don't even know what I'm going to try and get. I think I'm going to try and get an SMG. Try and get an SMG with better melee damage. I didn't even talk about... Okay. In the Chaos Chamber, there is multiple things. Like I showed you the vault. I just showed you the vault. But in the Chaos Chamber, there's just about everything you need, except for the inventory upgrades, like for different ammo types, backpack, and vault. That you still have to go into the blacksmith and Brighthoof. But in the Chaos Chamber, there is everything else you would need, including something amazing that you get the currency for it doing this, which is Enchantment Reroller. And do keep in mind, I have only done 2 runs of this. And I have 6,000 moon orbs, the blue orb down at the bottom right. The blue orbs are moon orbs. They give you, it's escalating amounts, but it gives you the ability to reroll the enchantments. And I have tried multiple times on that, completely maxing out the amount of moon orbs it costs, which at max it is 2,000. But yeah, which it maxes out after you get 10 rerolls and that'll be 2,000. It goes incrementally. I think it goes double, 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 all the way up to 2,000. But yeah, that little mechanic, or that not little mechanic, that mechanic lets you have perfected rolls like that. I had to roll to get that. I had to roll to get that. I had to roll to get, and that I had to roll to get. So it really can help you out. The only problem is it's completely RNG. So things like this that literally don't help my build at all, it just happened. I should not actually do that. I should go through him. Hell yeah, I already have a fresh revive. This area should have some secrets. That was stupid. He actually couldn't hit me doing that. Also, if you have watched my previous video, I do want to clarify something. I thought that it was just the great swords that could cut through multiple. It's actually any melee weapon if the enemies are close enough. It can hit. Or it can hit through multiple enemies if the enemies are close enough, which is very handy. Die, you big bitch. Die, you big bitch. Oh shit, I didn't even look at the... Oh, I need to speedrun this. Oh, I'm out of rockets. I tried to use a rocket. Spin, spin! Hell yep. Die, you big motherfucker. Thank you. Thank you. Ha! Fuck. Why do I play worse when I make a video? I don't get that. Shit. Die. Die. Please be enough. Please be enough. Please be enough. Please be enough. I want the bonus. Die, you big bitch! No! If I started from the beginning working on that, I could have done it. Aw, fuck. My video's almost done. I hope I can get to the end. Shit! Shit, 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 shit! I hate cliffhangers. I fucking hate them. Die, you bitch. Please be the end. Fuck. If this does not... Okay. If I have to give you a cliffhanger, I will make a video right after this. I'm going to record another video right after this, no matter how long it is, and just finish this. I hope that I don't have to worry. Please just be the end, motherfucker. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna explore, gonna get all the things, then I'm gonna stop the recording and make a new recording. I'm gonna name the same, or I'm gonna name the video the same, relatively the same thing, so you don't have that cliffhanger, because I personally fucking hate cliffhangers. Here's the dial. There's the skull. Guessing, there it is. There's one of the cigarettes. Something that kind of sucks. Every magical item just about makes the same, and magical item as in the buffs, the barrels, different things like that, all make the same noise as the skulls, so it's hard to tell if there actually is a skull around or not. Oh, fuck. I just realized I'm going to be up even later, and I didn't sleep well last night. Well, I set this out to be my video. I'm going to finish the video. Where's the other dial? There should be two. Can I get up there? Can I climb up? So I wouldn't be surprised if it's up there. I'm assuming no. Alright. Well, I hope you tune in to the next video if you did finish this one. And I will catch y'all in the next video, which is hopefully the next one you're going to watch, which will be out around the same time this one is.